Good morning, this is Stephen Thompson. I am live from Los Angeles, California, and I'm at the Pacific Ocean. It's behind me. It's beautiful. It's incredible. But I'm here today to talk to you about goal setting. And I want to talk about goal setting, and I want to give you this title and this concept. The concept is called the Quadraplex. Malcolm, Martin, Maya, Johnny, understanding the DNA of goal setting. Now we all know that DNA is the growth, functioning, development, and reproduction of all living things. So all living things have DNA. So your goals need to have DNA as well. And in order to extrapolate and talk about the DNA of your goals, my goals, I'm going to talk about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Maya Angelou, and Johnny Cash. Now, in the marketplace, you want to set a goal. There are 4 essential elements that we want to change. Number 1, we want to change either the market, a product, our pocketbook, or ourselves. Now, Malcolm X represents all the time that I fight in my life. Martin Luther King represents the time that I protest in my life. And we all know that Martin Luther King advocated nonviolence, Malcolm X advocated violence. Either or thinking. Then we also have fight or flight, either or thinking. In our day-to-day relationships and in our jobs, we work with fight or flight. But what is different now is we need to introduce 2 more elements. Those 2 elements are Maya Angelou and Johnny Cash. And the elements that we want to talk about with both of them are the concept of nurturing and the concept of recovery. For me, when I set a goal, I think about the 4 things that I want to change. I want to change myself, money, the product, or the marketplace. Now, I can only change myself, and I can only change my money and how I relate to it. And I have to look at Maya Angelou to do that. Maya Angelou was molested as a little girl, and they murdered the molester. And after that, she stopped speaking for several years. She went on to write the book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And the reason why she stopped speaking, because she felt her voice had killed a man. And that is what she needed to, she became a mother and she became a nurturer. And when I set my goals, I need to nurture myself more. Not beat myself up, not pressure myself, but start from the concept of I'm going to nurture myself. Now, Johnny Cash, recovery. Johnny Cash had a substance abuse issue, but Johnny Cash recovered from that substance abuse issue. So, we're going to fail when we set our goals. We're not going to be perfect. We're not going to make them all the time. So we need to introduce those elements. Me, I need to be nurturing towards myself, and I need to be ready to celebrate my recovery when I fail. So with that, my 4 goals, I can't change the marketplace, and I can't change the product. And when I've tried to change the marketplace and I've tried to change a product, I end up failing. But what I want to try to change is myself. And I want to change myself each day by continuing to eat healthy, by continuing to exercise, by continuing my mindfulness, my meditation practice, but also to practice gratitude and contentment on a daily basis. And that is just for me as specific as doing a morning routine and writing down 5 things that I'm thankful for every morning. The second thing is I want to change my pocketbook. I don't want to make more money, because making more money means that I have to spoil my art. I may spoil my art. I may have the tendency to get ambitious, and I may get impatient. And I don't want to do that. But I need to be a good steward of my money. And I'm going to learn how to manage my money. But I'm going to manage my 401k. I'm going to learn how to manage my retirement so that somebody else doesn't have to do it for me. I recently saw a TED Talk, and the man was a jailhouse lawyer. There was jailhouse lawyers, and there was also a jailhouse accountant, where he taught himself financial literacy in prison and taught other prisoners how to invest their finances. And when he went to prison, he did not know how to read. He came And in prison, he taught himself how to read. So if I, with college degree, advanced degrees, can read, I should be able to manage my finances. So that's a goal for that, for my finances. Now, other things I want to do at my job, I want to continue to implement our curriculum. I want to be able to create a national K-5 curriculum that we can sell to other schools around the country. I want to be able, in my personal life, to continue working with my editor to self-publish my novel. I want to form my own production company to be able to sell my own screenplays. I want to have a spiritual storytelling series that I run, and I'm able to perform my saxophone at it. And then I want to do a project called How Much Good Can You Do with $62? The reason I chose $62 is recently in California we had an election in my area, and the LA Times calculated that for each voter in the election, there was each vote cost $62. There was several million dollars spent. And I thought about my vote. It was for a school board, for one board member. And the nature of a board is, one board member cannot advocate. Boards are there to hold a CEO accountable, but boards, in their own nature, do not advocate policy individually. A board is only a board when it's together. So one individual board member cannot advocate on his own. That's the nature of the position. So we spent a lot of money in California, but I want to take that money and use it in a positive direction. And one thing I'm thinking about doing is creating a subscription package to send to incarcerated youth, to inspire them to get out of the position that they're in and get into a better one. So in the end, there's a concept called kintsugi. It's called to paint with gold. And what they do in Japanese art, there's these glasses that are broken. And what they do is they paint gold down the broken area to remind them how valuable they are. And even though they're broken, they still have value. So even though Maya Angelou was molested as a girl, she went on to be a best-selling author, female director, and she read a poem at Bill Clinton's inauguration. Johnny Cash overcame his substance abuse and went on to continue to record albums, even up to his dying days. He went to the studio and recorded an album, and there was one song called Ain't No Grave. And Ain't No Grave from the Christian tradition celebrates the resurrection. And the resurrection is a triumph over death. Now on a small scale, think about your own personal resurrection. When you fall down, we just need to get back up and keep going. We don't need to set new goals. We just need to continue walking forward. And that's why we need the concept of the Quadraplex. It's not just Malcolm. It's not just Martin. I need to be Malcolm at times. I need to be Martin at times. But I also need to be Maya, and I need to be Johnny. So that's the DNA of goal setting. Thank you, everybody. This is Stephen Thompson from the lovely Pacific Ocean in Southern California. Have a good one.